Hi everyone, Optical here. So today's World Mental Health Day, and I basically wanted to use this video to basically talk about what mental health is for people like me and for many people around the world. And with that means that I'm going to have to basically open up. So here we go. I'm on the autistic spectrum. I have mild Asperger's, so I am high functioning, which means that there's low, medium, and high functioning. The reason that I'm high is because I'm still able to have a bit more control in myself, physically and verbally and mentally. But I still struggle, and with that struggle along comes the anxiety that I've had, which has been pretty bad for me since 2014. So let's get into that. In 2014, I was in year 8 in my senior school, and the bullying I received at that school was awful. From 2014 to 2018, it was a really, in terms of bullying, it was pretty physical. It still remained verbal, but physical was a bit higher. Physical would be that a student had tried to break my leg. I was suffocated as well. In terms of suffocating, was that they threw like a beanbag on top of me and jumped on top. So they had basically, I basically struggled to get air, intentionally or not. That's what's happened. But a lot of it was psychological. They had picked out a lot of, I sometimes a pretty confident person in myself, but they picked out the things I was never confident about. And they used that as a weapon against me to really, really put me down. And I had that for around 4 years. 4 years basically meant that I had imperfections pointed out. I had, I'd get bruises sometimes on my arm or leg where it was pretty bad for me. And yeah, it was a rough time. That's what I went through almost every day. It wasn't physical every day, but verbal was what I went through every single day. And every time walking into senior school, I had held my head down low, and that was pretty bad. With that, it brought a lot of trauma into me by just how awful people treated me. And verbally, it would come from the teachers and the students, but physically it was just the students. But what didn't help was having teachers getting really, really, really loud towards me, shouting at me. That wasn't fun. And I was just made to feel really, really insignificant in my senior school. I had some nice teachers, but a majority of the time I had run-ins with teachers who just weren't willing to be nice to me. And that was really, really hard for the rest of 4 years. Year 1 was okay, with year 7 it was okay, but nothing was compared to what I had got from year 8 till 11. Teachers would also, treat me pretty differently in the class. I was made to feel pretty insignificant. How I pulled through it, I don't know. I actually almost moved from that school once to a new one. I don't know how I didn't, but I guess that was the case. So along comes 2018. I start college for the first time. I'm pretty excited for it, but at the same time I was nervous because I thought, is this going to be another couple of years of what I had in senior school? Was it going to be something different? Are people going to accept me? And for a large amount, I was pretty accepted. But it was only when things started to take a turn for the worst in 2019, when a new student had basically arrived into the college and pretty much made my life a living hell. It was pretty bad for me. I've always been open about how I'm feeling to friends and family. And I can openly say that this student was not great to me. He had a lot of psychological tricks at play. He'd try and find he tried to go onto the internet to find anything he could that would either resemble me or could embarrass me. And that was a really, really hard year, because a lot of students who I thought my friends had laughed at those jokes that student had made about me. But things really, really, obviously, my emotions were really riled up in 2020. That was when the pandemic hit, and obviously everything had shut down for pretty much almost a year. I became very distant with a lot of people that I used to talk to, and pretty much that did not help me at all. It almost felt like basically the real world had shut down for the 2 years. So, 2021, while we were still out of lockdown, we were still in a pandemic, so it felt different, but it felt the same, if that made sense. But 2021, I think, was when it really things became very clear to me, because it was on the last day of college. It was like this student thing, and people who I thought were my friends made a pretty nasty thing on their social media. They did a pretty nasty pretty nasty thing. What they had done was the photos that I were in, they'd either not mentioned me or tried to crop me out of, and then after that they either all blocked me or just cut me off from their life without any given reason. They just shut me out, and that was hard. And those people never really came to my birthday either as well. So I suppose I should have seen that as warning signs earlier, but there you are. From 2019 to now, I have been on antidepressants. I currently stand on 100 milligrams of sertraline. That just really helps settle my emotions down a lot. It's better now, but emotions were quite high from 19 to 21 because there was a lot going on, both personally and at school. And honestly, I am very surprised that I managed to pull through it, because I never felt that I wanted to I never felt suicidal, but I wanted to just sleep through a lot of the emotions I felt. I didn't really want to, have another day of feeling like crap. I just wanted to sleep it through. I never felt like I wanted to do anything silly, like cause any physical damage to my body by myself, or, take myself out. I'd never do that. Because that's never the answer. There's people you talk to, and that's the road that I took. I talked to different therapists, so different counsellors. I was put onto the medication, but a lot of trauma I carry was from the trauma I endured at senior school. It was pretty tough for me for those remainder of the 4 years. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll just kind of remember what I went through, and it's not pleasant. It puts you down, and unfortunately that's what bullying does. Bullying is meant to put you down so the person who bullies you feels better, because the chances are they've got a pretty bad home life too. And that's what you got to remember, is that the bullies that try and make your life horrible actually have a horrible life themselves. And unfortunately, bullying does get to people. It has taken people out of, it has taken people out of the earth. It has caused people to make very physical damage to themselves. And it's hard to do things about it, because there's nothing by law that says bullying is illegal, so it gives everyone free rein to do what they want to do. But at the end of the day, they're going to grow up and realise just how horrible a person they are, and they're going to feel even worse if they find out that person that they bullied relentlessly for years, took their own life. But the matter of the fact is that whatever you go through, I think if you're still fighting, you're still in this world, you just deserve a round of applause, honestly. Like, bullying is something no one should have to go through. You could be the kindest or the most nicest looking person in the world, and there's always going to be people that will try and bring you down. But you should never ever let it bring you down. I know it's an easy thing for anyone to say, but it's true. Nobody wins in the end. Bullies don't win, because whatever's going on at home, they're still going to experience, and you don't win because you're made to feel, you are belittled. So I just want to say, for World Mental Health Day, whatever anyone's going through, it's okay to talk to someone. It's the best thing you can do, whether it's a family, a licensed, therapist, or your best friends that you've known for years, or that you just a friend that you trust. It's okay to speak to someone. Antidepressants aren't a scary thing as well. That they help. I know that you think the word antidepressants and you think, oh, that must mean like I'm feeling really bad, but no, like you could have even a bit of minor anxiety and the antidepressants will just help you out. That's what they're there for. They're not there to make you feel like you're a really sad person. They're there to make you feel like you're a happy person, and it works. I've been on antidepressants now since 2019, and honestly, it's helped me out. I still have a bit of insomnia, but it's a lot more controlled. Before my antidepressants, my insomnia was really bad. Like I suffered a lot. It was almost weekly what I had with daily what I had with insomnia. But now it's a lot more controlled. So I could have like insomnia at least maybe I'll have it like a couple of times a month, or I could be like 3 months that I go without it. So things do get better. They take time. I personally feel better after having talked to someone and taking all these different things to help you feel good. And to all the families who have lost someone to mental health or to bullying, just know that the whole world mourns for you. I think that suicide and self-harm are some of the cruelest things in this world, and the bullying that people receive just doesn't help it. The world mourns with everyone who takes their life or just hurts themselves. The world hurts with them, but the world will never hurt with a bully. The hurt will always go to the victim and never go to the aggressor. And I think that's what people have to realize in this world, is that the bully never wins, regardless of what happens. So I want you all, for the rest of the night, to have a great day. Just know that when it comes to bullying, when it comes to mental health, people do take it seriously, but it's okay to just talk about it. Thank you.